Okay, hello, my name is Kylie Chandler, and today I will be teaching a few sections from 9.1. This section is on figures in the plane. To start off, I'm going to be teaching how to find the measures of interior angles of certain triangles. So for a few examples, I have I'm gonna draw this up real quick. And this one's going to be X, this one's going to be X, and this one, oh, I need to close that for it to be a triangle, my bad. This one's going to be 30 degrees. And then for example B, let's say, draw a triangle like this. I'm gonna have Y, 2Y, and 15 degrees. Now, I know when I was learning this, I saw the X's and the 30 degrees and the triangles, and I freaked out and I was like, oh, this is gonna be really difficult, but it's actually not that hard. You just have to apply what you know, and once you learn it, it should be pretty easy for you. So first off, I didn't do a good job drawing this one. It's more like that, so I'm gonna erase this. Okay. Now, this triangle, it's a bit soppy, but this one is a right triangle. We know that it is a right triangle because this side is a 90-degree angle. Even though, like I said, I'm not a great artist, so it's not very even. This one is a scalene triangle. We know that because not a single side of these are equal, which was easy for me because I can't draw anything equal to save my life. But actually getting to solving the problem, we want to take all of the angles and we want to add them up and make them equal 180. So this one is going to be X plus the other one, X plus 30 equals 180. Okay, so you want to add all these together, and I know you're like, how do you add up X and a number? So what you do is you put together the like terms. So you have X here, so that's going to be 2X plus 30 equals 180. And now it looks like a regular equation. So now we're going to solve it. We have 2X plus 30 equals 180. We get rid of the 30 by subtracting it on both sides. Okay, so 180 minus 30 is 150. Bring that 0 down, bring that 5 down. So we then have 2X equals 150. And 150 divided by 2, you can do long division, you can just do it in your head, is going to be 75. And you've got it solved. So where these two X's are is now 75 degrees and 75. So once you know what you're doing, it's not that difficult. You don't have to have a calculator or anything like I used to think you would need. You just add it all together to equal 180 and then you solve for that. So another example of that is Y, 2Y, and 15. You're like, uh-oh, we have 2Y now instead of Y. So now we have to solve for Y and 2Y. So we're not just solving for Y this time like we did just solve for X. Okay, so it's the same concept. You want to add them all together to equal 180. So you have 2Y plus Y plus 15 equals 180. Just like before, you want to add the like terms. So if you have 2 Y's and you add another Y, you have 3Y plus 15 equals 180. Just like before we had to get rid of that 30, now we have to get rid of that 15. So we're going to subtract 15, subtract 15, and that is going to be 165. So we have 3y equals 165. Now you get to this point, just like you did 150 divided by 2x, you're going to do 165 divided by 3, which is going to be 55. So y is 55. And that's where most people make their mistake. They quit. They're like, oh, I already found y. I don't need to do anything else. But you still have that 2y. And whenever you see a number next to y, or just like that, you know you have to multiply. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 and we're going to multiply it by the 55, and that should equal 110. And that's how you solve finding the measures of interior angles for the triangles. Oh, this does not erase very well. Bear with me, I'm sorry. Wow, yeah, that's looks great. Okay, that's about as good as we're gonna get it erased. Oh, get rid of that scaling. Okay, so for the next two things, I'm gonna kind of be explaining some logistics behind this subject and answering a few questions and explaining things that students sometimes get mistaken. So let's say we have two line segments. We have A and B, and it goes like this. And we have C and D. You're taking a test and it asks you, are these two lines parallel? Well, some students might say no, because they might say yes. Okay, a lot of students say yes because the two lines aren't like touching each other, but that's not how we tell if something's parallel or not. We know that they are not parallel because all their slopes are not equal. Okay, so if their slopes are not equal, they cannot be parallel. We see that A to B goes up like this and C to D goes like this. And a lot of students say they're not parallel because they don't meet. And that's not true. So we know that they're not parallel, not because they don't meet each other, but because this slope is going this way and this slope is going this way. So that's a common mistake. Like if a test asks you if something's parallel or not and asks you to give a reason, you need to know why, not just a guessing game of like, oh, yes or no, I have a 50-50 chance. Like you need to know why they are not parallel. Okay, and for this next one, we're going to do something with angles. And say we have four shapes, A, B, C, oh, I don't know why I made that one so big, and D. Okay, A is going to be a rectangle. B is going to be like this. C, little triangle, and D. It's a regular square, but not very good at drawing, like I've already prefaced. Okay, so if the question gives you four shapes like this and it asks you which one of these shapes does not have a right angle, a common mistake is students answering C. And they want to say this because it isn't a quadrilateral like the other ones. But actually, the correct answer, or let's look at it. Okay, so A, a right angle we know is 90 degrees. Oh, that was good. 90 degrees. and it looks like this. Okay, so we're looking for this in every shape, and if it does not have it, then that's our answer. So we want to look at A. Does it have it? Ooh, sorry. Yes. B, does it have it? I don't know. Let's go to the others to make sure before we just decide on one. C, does it have it? Yes. D, does it have it? So our answer is going to be B because it doesn't have it. That's not a right angle. It doesn't equal to 90 degrees. So just because C is a quadrilateral does not mean that's the answer. Okay, and for the ending, we're gonna do one more example of finding measures of interior angles of a triangle, just so that we can make sure we still remember how to do it. And this one's gonna use bigger numbers this time since we kind of have an idea, but we're just reviewing. Okay, so we're gonna draw a triangle. We're gonna have X here, 64 here, and 43 here. So step one, after getting them all, add them all together to equal 180. So you have X plus 64 plus 43 equals 180. And then you're gonna add 64 and 43 together, which is gonna equal 107. So we're gonna have X plus 107 equals 180. And then you're gonna subtract the 107. And you're gonna get 73, and then you're done. X equals 73. So your angle is going to be 73. I hope this helped and you learned something, and thank you so much for watching.